I'm Rick Howard, president of Kingdom Magic Vacations. In my job, I get to travel a lot. I explore the world on land and sea, eating in unique restaurants and discovering interesting locations. I'm always looking for new places to visit, and I want you to travel with me. Welcome to Travel with Rick. Hey guys, welcome to this week's show. We've got a really interesting topic for you this week. Something that, I didn't think we'd ever be talking about this on Travel with Rick. Okay, yeah, here we go. Hey Amanda.
Hi.
Hi Carrie. How are you? Good to see you. Got my friends Amanda and Carrie here, and yes, this week we're talking about running Disney, or Run Disney for all of you guys who are into the Run Disney events. And if you're not, no, don't leave. Believe me, it's interesting, okay? Maybe you're not a runner, right? I wasn't for a very long time. I wasn't, as a matter of fact, until last October. Well, I had kind of run a little bit, but yeah, I was kind of bitten by the bug. But you guys have been bitten big time. You guys are serious runners. And let me tell you, these Run Disney events are a big thing. They're pretty cool, right?
Yes.
This is pretty awesome. I mean, like, tens of thousands of people come out for this stuff. It's pretty amazing.
It adds a whole other layer onto your Disney experience, your Disney vacation.
Yes, a big layer. I mean, there is merchandise, there's hoopla, there's events, there's things
Breakfast,
going on.
dinners.
You can, you can run for wine. That's the hook that got me. So whatever the hook is, and we're going to talk about a few of them today, we want to tell you more about how Run Disney works. So Amanda's a longtime runner. Carrie, you and your husband Kevin, you guys both run. So let's talk a little bit about it. What is it about Run Disney that gets you guys? What is it that draws you out for this stuff?
Probably just running through the parks. There's no other race that's put on as good as Run Disney puts a race on. You just feel comfortable, you're having a good time, you feel safe.
Yeah,
you
have
get
a great experience.
Right.
Yeah.
You get cool shirts and bling and all kinds of stuff. We got to bring some bling in here at some point. But there's a lot of good medals out there too, right?
A lot of people run for the medals. Yeah, and the shirts. You get really cool shirts.
And then you wear your medals around the parks, and everybody congratulates you and asks you what you did.
Oh, there you go. The magic hand brings them in. So yeah, this is actually we are actually filming this during marathon weekend. And so today, Leslie, my wife, and Amanda, they both ran the 10K. And so we've got some bling for that. And then yesterday, Amanda did the 5K. Not that Amanda normally likes doing 5Ks, but tell them, Dopey, why you're doing this.
I always call 5Ks the gateway drug, because that's the race that gets you started.
Right.
People are like, oh no, I can't run a 5K, I couldn't run more than a mile. And I tell people, can you walk 30 seconds and then run 30 seconds? Because that's how a lot of us get through these races. Sure. We do like a run-walk method, which Jeff Galloway advocates.
But tell them why I just called you Dopey on camera. You know?
Okay. Yeah.
Why did you have to do that 5K yesterday?
Okay, Dopey is a new challenge that Run Disney's put together, and it's 48.6 miles over 4 days. It starts with a 5K. The next day you do a 10K. The next day you do a half marathon, and the following day you do a full marathon. Right. And you get 6 medals.
And so for those guys who may not know what a half marathon or a full marathon is, that's 13.1 and 26.2 miles, right?
Yeah.
That's a lot. 48 point something. That's a lot of miles. But it's really cool, right?
It seems like a lot in the beginning.
You spread it out over 4 days, right?
Yeah.
So.
Well, Rick's going to have a guest in here in a little bit that runs more than 26.2 miles.
Right. And
all
Kevin's,
at once.
All at one time.
And your husband Kevin is training for an ultra in the Keys, like 50 miles
50
or something,
miles in
right?
the Keys, yep.
Wow. That's
so
crazy.
this is where it starts. You come to Disney, you sign up for a 5K or even a 10K.
Right.
And that's your entry into it, and you find out that you can do it, have a good time, bring the family. We have kids races here. You can have the little kids involved in the races.
Right.
Awesome.
And like you said, they're very well organized. They're very they're just a lot of fun. You know, you have corrals that you're in, you know, groupings that you run with, and you run through the parks. They have entertainment going on. They have, during the races, people stop for photos with the characters and with the different things that are set up, right? So they actually stop running to go and have their, you don't do that.
They ride rides too.
Yeah, they do.
In the full marathon, they ride Expedition Everest in Animal Kingdom.
Wow.
The ride is open, the runners can get on the ride and ride the ride.
No kidding. that can't help your time.
No, but a lot of times people are just coming here to run for fun. They're not
Right.
going for personal bests.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, because that's why I do it. I do it for fun.
But
They'll be
if
doing
you
a full
want
sometime.
to, you can Boston qualify here. If you're that serious of a runner and you want to run Boston, the marathon is a qualifier.
Yeah, and so last time I think that's what Jeff Galloway said he was doing. He was actually using the wine and dine for his Boston Marathon qualifying. I think Jeff Galloway is runDisney training coach guru guy.
Extraordinaire.
Right?
Really nice guy.
Yeah, Olympic gold medal or Olympic
Yeah,
medalist.
yeah.
Awesome.
And you can find out about him online on the website. There's training programs available for you. If
Sure.
you don't know how you want to
Sure.
train for the race.
Yeah, you can just download the PDFs for free and set up your own runDisney training schedule, right? Because it is important to train.
As simple as I just want to finish in the upright position is actually one of the training programs.
He actually says that. So, Carrie, let's talk a bit about training. So, how do you train for a half marathon or a marathon? This is open for anybody, right? I mean, anybody can do this theoretically, right, Amanda?
Anybody can do it. I love that. Yeah, it's true. Anyone of any shape and size can do it.
Any age. I started running over 50, about 50. I don't remember how many years ago it was that we did the 5K, but I was 50, I was 52 when I ran the half marathon last year. I just turned 52 in September and ran the half marathon in November. So, over 50 running. You can do it. Over 50, overweight, running. You can do it.
You can do it. It's fun. When I started, I could barely run a mile. It was really hard for me, but it was something I wanted to be able to do with my husband. So we started together and we started training plans. We do use the Galloway training plan. So I follow that throughout the year. It usually involves at least twice a week for maintenance runs, about a 45-minute run, however far you can go in that length of time, and then a longer run on the weekend at some point.
Right.
So my husband and I try to run together to encourage each other, and it really helps to have someone that can cheer you on and say, you know what, it's okay to slow down and walk, it's okay to take a break.
So it's a great couples event.
Mm-hmm.
And I run with my daughter, who's a teenager.
Right.
So it's a great mother-daughter event.
And even though I can't catch her anymore, I run with my wife from time to time around our neighborhood. And Leslie is a great example of someone who just started running and really who didn't run. Leslie's goal last year was to run the 5K during Wine and Dine weekend with some of our agents from Kingdom Magic, and she had never, I don't think, even run a 5K before, or maybe had run a 5K. But her goal was just to walk a 5K with the agents, and started running around our neighborhood, started walking around our neighborhood, and then found out that she could run. And started running and started improving. And I remember some of the first couple of weeks she would come in from her run and say, does this ever get any easier? This is hard. Does this get easier? And then she joined a run camp and does what my wife typically does. She got totally immersed in it and started really getting into it. And she actually, her first half marathon, ran the whole race. She didn't walk, she ran the whole race.
I don't even do that, and I've been running for 2-3 years now.
I do that, but I'm going to take a page out of Amanda's book and I'm going to try a run walk to try and improve my time. I've heard it works, so I'm going to trust.
Go for it.
Awesome.
And you can run on both coasts too.
You've
got races in Disneyland, you've got races in Walt Disney World, and
there's a medal for that, actually.
Castaway Key, too.
And you can actually run on Castaway Key. If you follow us here on Travel with Rick, you can actually see that race and hear more about that, because we actually filmed the Castaway Key 5K, and we don't have the bling to show you for that, but I bet we could through the magic of technology. We could fly that in for you, and that's a complimentary race. I hear it's going to become a shore excursion that you have to sign up for. They did it differently. Used to be you just show up for it, not on the island, but you show up. You didn't have to sign up pre or anything. The last time we did it, you actually did have to sign up with a shore excursion desk and get signed up. But there's a great track or a great course that you run on the island. You get to run out by the observation tower. You run down the runway and you run back and run by the observation tower again and then back. But it's a great way to see Castaway Key and do something different on your island, and it's a great way to justify all the food that you're going to eat at the buffet at the barbecue. So that's pretty cool.
what you were going to mention, they do have a special medal if you run a race in Walt Disney World, and in the same year run a race in Disneyland. You get an
Right.
optional coast-to-coast medal.
Coast-to-coast medal. So there is
So if you're into
lots of
medals.
bling.
Yes.
There is lots of bling. And you guys have come up with some cool ways to display your bling, right? You and Kevin, I've heard you guys talk about that. So,
We've
so
gone
this
ahead
becomes
and put it on the wall and just let it hang down.
all right. So collecting your bibs and collecting your medals, your bling, that becomes kind of a cool thing to do as well, right?
Definitely.
And the t-shirts. Don't forget the t-shirts.
And the t-shirts.
You will never have to buy another tech shirt again. You just run the races and you'll have a collection.
Yeah, and sometimes they're long sleeve, sometimes they're short sleeve, right?
Yep. Depends on what time of the year you're running.
Yeah.
They have a really cool expo at the races where you can go. They have celebrity speakers that'll come in. They have
Jeff
celebrities
Galloway, yeah.
that'll run the races with you.
Wow.
They've got, oh my
Nutrition.
gosh, all nutrition, targitis, yes. KT tape you can get taped up there. Massages, yes. All kinds of different food items you can try, like nutritional food items, official merchandise.
I hear New Balance even has a Mickey and a Minnie styled running shoe now, right? Well, they always have, but they've got, I guess, to do a new one every year.
now.
They do a new one every year, right?
Well, last year was the first year that they had the shoe, and they had a Mickey and a Minnie, and they just, in 2014, this race weekend that we're at right now, they came out with 4 new styles. They've got a Cinderella, they've got a pink Minnie, they have a Sorcerer Mickey, and they have a Goofy shoe. And they're very cool, and I actually run a New Balance, and I think they're great. So.
All right, so New Balance, give us a call. We appreciate your sponsorship. And speaking of sponsorship, Carrie, if people need accommodations during these Run Disney events that are wildly popular, right?
Yes.
And wildly popular for families. I mean, we've seen just whole groups of people running together, families, kids, and multi-generation. So how could they contact you if they need help planning a Run Disney race?
You guys can visit the Kingdom Magic Runners page on Facebook. We do have a Facebook group going there for runners, and you could email me at carrie@kingdommagic.com or give me a call, 866-972-6244, extension 772. I can help you with all your travel needs.
All right. Awesome. So that's what you want to do if you want to plan one of these races. If you're thinking about one of these races, you definitely need to do that. Well, listen, guys, thanks for being here. We're going to bring in a couple more people because, believe me, there are more layers of this stuff that we need to talk about. So we're going to talk to a couple more people coming up. So see you right after this.
At Kingdom Magic Vacations, we believe that life should be measured out in memories. For over 17 years, Kingdom Magic Vacations has specialized in making vacation dreams come true for families visiting Disneyland, Walt Disney World, Disney Cruise Line, and Adventures by Disney. Kingdom Magic Vacations has been honored as an authorized Disney vacation planner, and that means we are recognized by Disney as a leader in planning magical vacations to Disney destinations. Our knowledge and experience allows our travel professionals to custom tailor your Disney vacation and make them truly magical. We know that each moment you spend on vacation creates a memory that lasts a lifetime. You can start planning your magical Disney vacation by visiting kingdommagic.com today.
And we're back. I told you we had some more. Where did you go? Oh, yeah. We got some more friends. Well, you're more than a friend, sweetie. Good to have you guys back here. Good to have you guys here. Hey, Mark. How's it going? Rick? You guys may remember Mark from our Food and Wine episodes last year. China, rocking. We're going to have you back for some more food and wine stuff this year. I can't wait.
Already.
We're already starting to think about food and wine, but hey, that's for another day. Today we're talking about Run Disney stuff, and we're going to look at it from a couple more aspects. We'll talk with Leslie, who is probably, well, about me. I'm about our newest runner too, but Leslie's a real new runner. But I mean, you've taken this thing over the top. You're running what, 10.5-minute miles now, and you know, just running long distances. You ran a half marathon the whole way through. I mean, just solid running. You don't do the Jeff Galloway run, stop, walk, run thing like I have to do. You know, just crawl, finish upright is not your goal. You just do this thing, right? It's amazing, right? So how did this happen for you?
Well, without getting into a long story, it was, well, you had mentioned it in a previous email.
Basically you had a goal to start to run a 5K
with
some of the agents just to support and participate in that, and the bug bit you basically, and now your goal is to run actually a marathon. You set that for your goal that 2015 you're going to do the dopey, actually. You're going to run 48 miles in 2015, right?
Yeah,
so now we've got it on camera. You're officially committed, right? There you go. So I'll be playing this for you in October.
There will be no reason to be playing it. I am going to be committed to doing that. Now, I enjoyed it. I wanted to sign up for this. Well, actually, I was coerced by Laura to sign up for the 5K.
Right. And at that time, you really couldn't even run a mile.
Oh, heavens no.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was just, you were just walking around the neighborhood to try to get in shape to, as Carrie put it before, finish upright. Right?
Exactly.
Just to walk 3 miles and not get swept was your goal, right?
Exactly.
To walk at least 16-minute mile is what you have to do to avoid being swept at Disney. You have to do at least a 16-minute mile here, and that was your goal, right?
Yes, it was my goal, and then I started
by
enjoying
chance,
it.
yeah, by chance, then you had an opportunity to run the 10K, the 10 mile for Tower of Terror. So the Tower of Terror 10 mile, you had an opportunity to do that in October, and then you had another opportunity to run the Wine and Dine half. Yeah. So you ran the 5K and the Wine and Dine half, and now you're running another half marathon for the marathon weekend. And you know, we'll talk about it some more, about some travel that we're going to be doing. We're actually going to Savannah to visit the Bigby's and do a half marathon in Savannah, right?
So, well, actually, Tybee Island.
Okay. Yeah, Tybee Island. So there are opportunities to run all over, right, Mark? I mean, you can take this, not only just Disney does races. I mean, we think Disney's got the market corner, but you run a lot just locally too, right? In your area in Savannah and in that area up there, right?
I actually started down here, so I started in your neck of the woods, but y'all coming up to my neck of the woods soon. But I did my very first race ever was right here in Disney, a Run Disney event. 2010, which is a race that doesn't exist anymore, the ESPN, the Weekend 5K. Used to be the same weekend that the Princess Weekend is now, end of February. And it's the last timed event that 5K that Disney used to do, but now they're all fun runs, so that's another, I think, encouragement, is as I believe Amanda mentioned, the gateway drug.
Yeah.
I think that takes even more of the pressure off by having it be a fun run, because you're not thinking about the time. There's a clock there, but you're not really being timed for your run.
Right, right. Because I think the first 5K that I ever did, official 5K I ever did, was with Amanda for one of the Halloween races, and I think it was like 40,
that was my second.
It was like 48 minutes or something. We finished that race in, you know, and you're stopping to see the characters, and you're doing all kinds of stuff, you know. So I'm doing a little bit better than 48 minutes now with the 5K. Let's talk a bit about training. And Mark, I want you to hit on this, but Leslie, you've done it a little bit different as well. Not only do you run around the neighborhoods and you run in the races, but you actually joined a running camp, right? You went to our local running store where we buy shoes and get advice and talk to them about it, but you joined a camp. So talk about that a little bit, what you do there.
I did. I wanted to, when I started running, I wanted to make sure that I was running smart and that I wasn't going to do something that was going to eventually hurt myself without proper running form and knowing what to do. Our local running store in Vero, Runners Depot, has a running camp that they do a couple of times a year, and I signed up for it, and we have training for about an hour for, usually it's about, I don't know how long it is, but anyway, it's about an hour 2 times a week. And they teach you all the fundamentals of running. Whether you're an experienced runner or a beginning runner, you learn all the fundamentals of running. You learn interval timings. You just learn a host of activities. I was so new at it, I'm like, what's all this stuff? And, you know, our more experienced runners in Vero were, you know, they just knew how the whole program ran. But it was an absolutely awesome experience. I signed back up for the next season, actually, starting the end of this month, January.
Right, and they actually video you running, and they give you advice on your stride and on your posture and all of these things, how you strike the ground and all of this kind of stuff, and tell you how you need to make sure that you're getting the proper everything that you need to run in order to be a more efficient and a more safe runner, because you can actually get hurt doing this. I mean, you know, it's really, really important to think about proper form and think, you know, particularly at our increasing age, right? So
you get older, you need to just be a little bit smarter about your recovery times and things like this.
Just go do it. But at our age,
we
Well, I
go.
was leaving you out of there. You notice I said sweetie. I didn't say, you know.
I'm right there as well. I didn't do what you did, and locally in my city, most cities have a running community, and if it's not the store itself, there's somebody tied in. So you have to Google a little bit, but there's somebody doing some type of running camp that can help you. And I didn't do that. I live kind of outside of Savannah, so it was too far for me to drive and to think about the logistics of doing that and work and have a family life. So I didn't do that. And I had a little bit of trouble in the beginning, but I got over that. And but that's, you know, I'm again no spring chicken either. So I think that was a very smart thing for Leslie to do, is to sign up and do something like that to get going, starting when you're not 18 and you've done it your whole life in high school and college, and kind of starting at our age. And like I said, I just started 3-4 years ago myself doing this. So
Right.
I was just where you are now. I was there 3-4 years ago, couldn't run a mile, and did the 5K and stepped on up as well. It bites you
Right,
the same.
And you mentioned an important thing there, Mark. You mentioned community, and even this Run Disney community and the Run Disney events. It's a big community, right? There's people that come down here, that get together, and you know them on social media, and so you see old friends, you see good friends, and you hang out and you run the races, you participate in activities before and after. So it's a lot of fun to be part of this community, whether it be here at Disney or it's important in your local community as well. I see you on Facebook all the time. You're posting, runs that you're doing with friends and stuff up there. So that's an important part of it as well, right?
Well, we talk year round. I mean, Disney has races in January is the big weekend. February is the Princess weekend. Expedition Everest is in May, I believe it is. Then September, October, depends, is when the Tower of Terror falls, and then November is the
Wine and Dine half.
Where Rick got his start. And then you've also got the West Coast stuff, so there's January in Disneyland, and then there's August in Disneyland. So there's stuff year-round happening, and so there's the Facebook group where you can talk about all this with your friends and meet friends, and I've met more people. I've met every one of you guys, either on Twitter or in a Facebook group or somewhere. I've met everybody here that is on Travel with Rick ever.
Sure.
I met through social media, so we're all doing the same, and so we're talking about what foods to eat, what clothes to wear is what I stress over. Is you're in January and it's sleeted here in January during the half marathon before, and the last 2 years we've sweated to death in the half marathon and the full marathon in January in Florida.
Right.
So we talk about all these things online, and Kingdom Magic Runners, we talk about this on the Facebook group.
Right, right. And so, community is a big part of it. It makes it more fun. People encourage one another. You can come out and run as a group, or you can run single, but, then meet up before and after the races. So it's just an awesome way to, and as Amanda said, it just adds another layer to your Disney trips. Big Thunder Mountain's cool, but you can only go to the parks and enjoy it so many different times, so many different ways. I know you can go all the time and it's always awesome, but this is just one more layer that you can add for something that's very cool, and it is a big community and it's a lot of fun. It is an extreme. We really haven't talked about the benefits, number one, but also the exhilaration of it. It's cool to run a half marathon and finish it, man. I thought I was gonna die at the end of the Tower of Terror 10 miler. But I gotta say, at the end of the 10 miler, I couldn't have imagined how I would have run another 3 miles. But just a month later, I think the weather had a lot to do with it. But running that race, I felt way better and way more excited about it. It's an extreme sense of accomplishment, right?
Absolutely.
Definitely.
And just like you said, you have friends that encourage you along the way. I know Amanda, in my very beginning of running, she. Laura's the one that pulled me in, but Amanda was the one that said, "Oh, you can do it," and next thing you know, I'm in the Tower of Terror, and then I'm in the half marathon. So they
suck you in. They do.
It just happens. You get to know people, and it's like yeah.
They don't give you a minute's peace. You just have to do it. And so we'd be remiss if we didn't mention our good friend Sarah McGovern Luca, who runs runningatdisney.com. She has a great site that'll give you great tips. Of course, Carrie and Mark both mentioned our Kingdom Magic Runners on Facebook. So that's facebook.com/Kingdom Magic Runners. Check us out over there. We're posting lots of tips lots of encouragement. We have agents that are over there like Carrie and Donna and others who can help you plan accommodations and travel for your trip if you're coming in with your friends and your family. So, you know, this place gets busy, this place gets full. They can give you all the insight and the tips to help you plan that out. So we'd certainly appreciate a call for Kingdom Magic Vacations if you're thinking about a trip to Run Disney. And I would encourage you, you will see another whole side of Disney. Literally, with the races, you get to go backstage. It's cool. You'll see parts of Disney you never see with your regular admission ticket. So Run Disney, you'll see cool stuff. And you'll get lots of great bling, and you're going to look better, and you're going to feel better about yourself, and you're going to have an extreme sense of accomplishment. Even our camera guy back there, John, and his wife Sid, you know, they're rocking Run Disney races as well. So our community who like to go out and play and have a good time, but I think just pretty much everybody in our circle, they're all runners, right? I mean,
pretty much.
We've all started running, and I was the most reluctant one of all. I was. I said most. I know.
She's done that.
Chris is over there shaking her head going, you're not getting me to run.
She did that 5K.
Yeah, so, but you know, it's something the whole family can do. It's something you can do, like I said, to see another whole side of Disney. So I'm glad you guys came out and helped us tell those guys how cool it is. It's a lot of fun. So remember, if you're thinking about it, we'd appreciate a call at Kingdom Magic. And of course, check us out right back here next week for another episode of Travel with Rick. So long, everybody. Hey guys, coming to you from a blustery day here in Cozumel, Mexico. Check out these two beautiful Royal Caribbean ships, the Liberty and the Brilliance of the Seas. They're incredible, and this is an incredible port. I want to take a few minutes and just thank you for watching this week's show. Remind you to drop your email address up there in our box. That'll get you signed up for our updates. So every time we put something new here on the blog, you'll be the first to know about it. You'll get a notification in your email. That way you won't miss a thing. If you want to keep up with what's really going on at Travel with Rick, check us out over on facebook.com/travelwithrick. That's our Facebook page. That's where we post our question of the week, and that's where you can interact with us, find out where we're going, what we're doing, what we like, and you can also check out other Travel with Rick friends over there as well. And speaking of checking us out, if you're on YouTube or iTunes, yep, we've got channels for you over there as well. Listen, you never know where we're going to be next. We could be in some blustery port like this, or who knows. So check us out right back here next week. Find out for yourself. I look forward to seeing you right back here. So long, everybody.